welcome back to another episode of the Daily O. I'm Courtney Noisette. Thank you for joining us. The Biden administration now says states will get 14.5 million coronavirus vaccine doses every week. That's up nearly 60% since President Biden took office last month. This as the heads of several vaccine makers told Congress Tuesday that they're on track to deliver more than 200 million more doses in a matter of weeks.
Vaccine supplies remain the number one hurdle to vaccinating Americans at a faster pace.
That hurdle front and center at a virtual hearing today with the vaccine makers.
We did initially experience some problems with the initial ramp up of our vaccine. We will be on track to deliver those 300 million doses before the end of July.
Moderna promising the same.
The short answer is we do believe we're on track to meet those deadlines.
Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine could secure emergency use authorization from the FDA later this week.
We're prepared to ship immediately upon emergency use authorization nearly 4 million doses of our vaccine.
Beyond production and distribution, questions about protection as new variants spread.
Adding a new strain to our vaccine is something that we have experience with and are capable of doing very quickly.
Pfizer looking at a potential third shot as a booster. And
we're also in discussions with the FDA to get potentially developing an upgraded vaccine against the new variant of concern should it arise.
Meantime, the White House announcing a boost in distribution.
States will now receive 14.5 million doses this week, up from 8.6 million doses per week when the president took office.
More states expanding eligibility.
Starting next Monday, March 1st, everybody over the age of 55 will now be eligible for the vaccine.
Nationwide, more than 13% of the population has that first shot.
It makes me feel better that just knowing that we're at least a little protected.
6% now fully vaccinated. But what does that second dose allow you to do?
Common sense tells you that, in fact, you don't have to be as stringent in your public health measures. But what we want to get firm recommendations from the CDC, which I believe will be coming soon.
While we wait, more signs of pre-pandemic life returning.
It's just really great to see them back open and also be able to come inside for a change.
In New York, tested, masked fans will be in these seats tonight for the first time in nearly a year when the Brooklyn Nets host the Sacramento Kings.
I think the light at the end of the tunnel is pretty bright, but we have to keep vaccinating.
Make sure to tune in into our YouTube channel later this week where Sierra Williams gives us more information on COVID response. In an email sent out to students this morning, OSU detailed the sidewalk work that is happening on campus. There will be 4 on-campus locations that will be receiving repairs this week. The Student Union, Nancy Randolph Davis, Theta Pond, and the intersection of Scott and Monroe. These projects will take place over the next 2 weeks, beginning with the Student Union, Nancy Randolph Davis, and Theta Pond sidewalks. All of these projects are set to be completed by the 27th. The intersection of Scott and Monroe will begin on Monday, March 1st, and will finish up on Friday, March 5th. Earlier today, higher OSU grads hosted their virtual All Majors Career Fair from 10 to 5. Today, students were able to register online and book appointments with companies they were interested in. Speaking with, if you couldn't make it to the fair today, don't be discouraged. Tomorrow, OSU grads is hosting their virtual STEM career fair. This one will also be from 10 to 5, and you can join by going to app.careerfairplus.com. To start talking to employers, you can book appointments online or have a more casual experience by attending the browse session from 10 to noon. For more information about how to prep for a virtual career fair and others helpful resources, you can visit the career fair page at higherosugrads.com. Next week, we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Josh Weisel has our weather for the Daily O. I'm Courtney Noisette.
All right, folks, and welcome back. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Ocala Storm Studios, taking a quick look at your forecast for this evening and for the 10-day forecast coming up in just a second. Starting with this evening and tonight, we're currently in the upper 50s. Our high today was around 60. We're going to see some temperatures in the 30s and even into the upper 20s for your commute to class tomorrow morning, with some cloud coverage starting to move in across the area, but nothing significant. That's going to be your commute to class tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we have a high of around 53 across the state. This is our average high for this time of year across the Stillwater area. Partly cloudy to partly sunny skies across the area tomorrow are forecasted, so it's going to be a relatively pleasant day across the area. And then for Friday afternoon, once again, we're at that average high across the area of 53 with partly sunny to partly cloudy skies as well, so that's going to be a pleasant day as well. So taking a quick look at the allergy index, it's awful if you have an issue with tree pollen. I'm going to step over here so you can see it. Tree pollen is at a high, so if you have any sort of allergy issues that you're experiencing, ozone and other air quality issues are also at a low, so not quite as much of an issue as tree pollen is with the allergy index. So take a quick look. The next rain chances we're going to see is this weekend into early next week. We're talking Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. This will be relatively widespread as of now, as you can see. 50% coverage Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'm going to step out of the way real quick so you can see the full 10-day forecast I have in store. So slight rain chances tomorrow. Those are going to be light. They could be potentially just scattered across parts of the area, but not all of us are going to see it. And then as we head into next week, mostly sunny skies will return on Thursday and Friday, and look at that. 70s are going to return by Friday, so it's going to be a beautiful end to the week next week as it's looking at this moment. Speaking of which, stick around for sports coming up right after this.
Oh, there you go. Superstar.
The end of the practice is when we do all of our, intensity drills.
Okay.
She was going at it.
Stop. If we get them to Detroit by, let's say Monday the 15th. Time's right there. There we go. Yeah. Just, you can't.
Don't want to talk about it.
When you see the water tower, you're going to make a right.
If we win this, is the one way to get to the playoffs.
I know.
Welcome back to the Daily O. I'm Karsten Melton, and let's get into sports. The sports world was shocked to hear about Tiger Woods' rollover car crash yesterday. Emergency personnel responded to a call early yesterday about a single car crash in California. Inside the car was legendary golfer Tiger Woods, who was apparently conscious but suffering from multiple leg injuries. The jaws of life were required to get him out of the car, and he was transported to the hospital for surgery. Here is more on that still developing story.
The sports world is reeling.
This is a tough moment.
As Tiger Woods, one of the most successful golfers in history, recovers in a California hospital from a devastating rollover crash.
All the energy right now is going to be poured into supporting him in the days and months ahead.
Doctors at the Harbor-UCLA Medical Center say Woods suffered severe compound fractures, requiring emergency orthopedic surgery to insert a rod, screws, and pins to stabilize his right leg and foot.
Tiger's had some really difficult injuries. The most important thing is his well-being.
An investigation is underway into the cause of the crash that occurred on a section of the roadway in Rancho Palos Verdes, known as a troubled spot for speeding and accidents.
This stretch of road is challenging, and if you're not paying attention, you can see what happens.
Officials say they do not believe Woods was impaired, but was likely driving at a high rate of speed.
There was no evidence of any impairment whatsoever. This is what it is, an accident.
The crash potentially a devastating setback to the champion's hopes of returning to golf glory on the heels of his 5th career back surgery. Fans now hoping for another fairy tale ending.
Maybe after a long rehab, we've got another grand finale to this incredible career this man has had.
We wish Tiger all the best in his recovery and are really happy to hear that he will be okay. Shifting now to OSU men's basketball. The Pokes were in action Monday against the 18th ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders. Our own Jace Andrews has the recap of the thrilling overtime win.
Oklahoma State is now 15-6 after an outstanding overtime win against Texas Tech. After the crazy weather last week, the Cowboys were ready to be back on the court against a talented Red Raider team. In such a competitive conference, having to compete day in and day out, the Cowboys have shown grit all year, and according to Avery Anderson, the Cowboys are prepared for anyone.
We're willing to go up against anybody that comes in front of us, and we ain't gonna back down from nobody.
The Cowboys showed that they were up for the challenge on Monday and took down Texas Tech 74-69 in overtime for the second time this season. The Cowboys were put in many tough scenarios through this game, one of them being when Cade Cunningham had to sit with foul trouble when the Cowboys needed scoring. Luckily, the Cowboys were prepared for this because they practiced so well and prepared themselves for situations like this one.
And we create situations that they have to figure out how to win. We're down 5 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Cade's fouled out. We practiced this stuff. I think because they practiced it, they feel prepared for those situations when it happens in a game.
Although these players were well prepared for this game and played very well, there was a time in the second half where the game looked bleak for the Cowboys. Down by 11 with just under 14 minutes of play, that's when Keelan Boone came off the bench and started a 15-0 run for the Cowboys. This put them in front of the Red Raiders with under 10 minutes left of play. Though Keelan may not show up much on the stat sheet, he was a big part of the Cowboys' win.
But there's no question that the guy who sparked us tonight was a guy who hadn't played much the last couple of weeks in Keelan Boone. His minutes were tremendous from an energy standpoint. You look at the stat sheet and try to figure out why. If you didn't watch the game, you don't know why I would say that. But if you were in that game, you know that when he came in, the tide turned.
The Cowboys have been preparing themselves well for every game. The energy that the Cowboys have had as of late has kept them focused. And with 2 Bedlam games on the horizon, they are going to need all the energy they have.
It brings a lot of energy to the team, man. Now that it's Bedlam, it's about to be even more energy, and this game about to be even more important to us.
The first of the upcoming 2 Bedlam games for OSU is this Saturday at 2 o'clock in Norman. Be sure to tune into ABC to support our Cowboys. For the Daily O, I'm Jace Andrews.
Thanks, Jace. Looking forward to Bedlam this Saturday, 2 p.m. on ABC. As for the women, they'll be in action tonight in Waco as they travel to take on 7th-ranked Baylor. That game tips off at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus and Big 12 Now. In NBA news, the rest of the All-Star team rosters were announced yesterday. New faces are appearing along with some longtime veterans. And of course, with every team, there are some major snubs that many people feel should have been included in the roster. For the West, the All-Star players announced were Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Zion Williamson, and Anthony Davis. For the East, it was headlined by James Harden, first-timers Julius Randle and Zach LaVine, along with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Nikola Vucevic, and Ben Simmons. Some snubs include Domantas Sabonis from the Pacers, Devin Booker from the Suns, and Trae Young from the Hawks. There is still hope these players could get added as injury replacements for those ruled out. Last thing before we go, Oklahoma State baseball is back in action in Stillwater in their new home of Obrat Stadium. The Cowboys are playing right now over there, taking on Arkansas Little Rock. Pokes are coming off of a 2-game sweep of Wichita State. Current score right now is 5-0 Oklahoma State in the top of the 3rd inning. Obrat will officially be opened after it was originally scheduled for last March before COVID hit. Make sure to check out that game after the show on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Thanks for tuning in this evening. For more Daily O content, follow us on social media at @TheDailyO_TV. You can also watch The Daily O on Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, Roku, and on Suddenlink Channel 112. We'll see you back here on Friday. For The Daily O, I'm Karsten Melton. Have a good night.
Hi everybody, my name is Emily Shooping. I'm your marketing coordinator for the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. I'm coming to you with an amazing opportunity. We are teaming up with the Ocali Media Group at Oklahoma State University. We want to tell your story on the following platforms: streaming, newspaper, and digital. This opportunity will not only allow your story to be told locally, but nationally as well. I am so excited for each of you to join in on this tremendous opportunity. This will not only be good for your business, but it will be good for our great state of Oklahoma. You can be expecting an email from me soon with more details about this opportunity. Local has a name, local has a face, local has a flavor. The Made in Oklahoma Coalition.